guys, Jonah here, back with the beer review. We're off to Somerset, to Yonder, and we've got something that's a bit interesting, slightly unusual, especially over here in the UK, but I quite like them. Um, it's a Gose, but it's, or Gose, as some people say, but it's a raspberry one, loaded with raspberries. So this is a sour beer, essentially, 4% on the ABV. It's in a nice big can, and I quite like the colour. It's obviously a kind of raspberry thing going on. Raspberry Gose balances heavy dose of UK grown raspberries against, oh, come on, dude, against a lick of Cornish sea salt. The results are full-bodied, smooth fruit beer experience. Sea salt? Not so sure about putting salt in beer. Come on, guys. It was literally in focus about 2 seconds ago, and then it didn't. Right, so we got barley, we got wheat. Cool, cool, cool. So, why are you putting salt in beer? Well, probably to balance out the real sourness of the actual beer. Right, so let's get this bad boy into the glass and we'll see what we do. Yeah, you've heard of salted caramel. Everyone and his dog has heard of salted caramel. And yeah, I think it's a proper cop-out myself. For you guys, it's going to seem a real sort of hazy kind of colour, but it does have a kind of pink hue to me. Headwise, not much to speak of. Over a fingernail, but only just. Fast disappearing kind of head. Typical Gose style aroma. Murky, kind of farmyardy-ish, but nothing too major. I'm expecting this to be sour, but not ridiculous. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely some sort of Belgian yeast, some sort of Lambic perhaps, or maybe they've just put some bacteria like a Brett or yeah, something along those lines in with the sacro. Yeah, sort of some sort of infection added. If they're being, how should we say, if they've done it in a lab, people in Belgium, they just leave the lid off the fermenter and let all the stuff that's flying about in the brew house fall in. But yeah, people these days don't tend to do that. Cheers and beers. Oh, so a nice hit of sourness. And I was thinking, is that because it's a sour beer or is it the raspberries? Definitely from the yeast, because straight away that moves into the raspberry kind of sourness, which is slightly different. I thought this might be a little bit sweet to balance the sourness, but not really. I'm trying. I mean, there's a little bit of kind of raspberry milkshake kind of going on there, but I suspect that is what was it? It wasn't oats, was it? It was barley and wheat. That's right. Yeah. So it's kind of like a sour wheat beer, which is yeah, which is interesting. They would call this framboos if it was in yeah, Belgium, but no, it's just raspberry Gose. Interesting. I'm not 100% sure how they made this because they don't say. Um, there are some, I think it's a Lindeman's or someone like that, do some blending of sour beers with raspberry fruit juice or a mix or a melding of raspberry fruit, which is really interesting. And they, because it's a blending, they blend it really, really well. Whereas I think this was all made in one go. It's nice. I mean, I'm trying hard to pull out that salt because that's the one thing that I don't personally like. But I can't really taste it, to be honest. I just don't like the idea of it because they're doing it for a reason. So I imagine they made this originally, didn't have any salt in, and went, it's not quite right. If we put a pinch of salt in, it will take care of something. Yeah, and that's kind of something I don't particularly like myself. Purely making additions to solve a problem with brewing techniques. Yeah, not so good. Anyway, dive in for some more. I mean, I do really like this style. Along with Creeks, which is the cherry version of this. And even you can get strawberry ones, which are really, really difficult to do, or to do well, I should say. However, this is really nice. Does it fully compete with the Belgian varieties? Probably not. However, if you're in the UK and you can't get specialty Belgian beers, which, they are a little bit hard to get hold of sometimes, because of that tend to be really expensive, why not go for a raspberry Gose from Yonder? Because, yeah, it's not far off, I have to say, not far off at all. Really, really nice. I think maybe they could, for me personally, I'd dial up the sweetness a tiny bit. Maybe even add a tiny bit of oats to kind of up that milkshake type thing. But then it would be a totally different beer. Maybe that's not what people want. I'm liking this one. I even like the can. Raspberry Gose. The only thing I didn't like is because the can's wrapped. I don't know if you can see. There's a little flapper on there because they've heat sealed it. And if you pull it, yeah, there you go. See, it's a plastic label over a steel can. Recycle the steel, but I don't think many places would do that. They just stick this can straight into landfill, which isn't great because if you just pull the label off, then you can fully recycle it. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, this has been Unclejona ranting away, talking about the raspberry Gose from Yonder. Click like, click subscribe, and we'll see you real soon for more beer, more inane rantings. Cheers and beers, guys.